Today we will cover complete ancient Indian history in one video, so first of all let's say we all together Jai Shri Ram. I think this video may be long, but I have included all important topics. From this video you can take notes. And if you want to take paid notes of this video without watermark, you can contact to my email to himanshujangid0477@gmail.com. So now without wasting time, let's get started, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you find this useful. Topic will be Prehistoric period, Indus Valley Civilization, Vedic period, Jainism and Buddhism, dynasties of ancient India. Prehistoric period. Paleolithic period. Homo sapiens first appeared towards the end of this phase. In this period, man barely managed to gather his food and subsisted on hunting. Distinguished by the development of the first stone tools made up of quartzite. Paleolithic period is divided into three phases. They are 1. Lower Paleolithic, 2. Middle Paleolithic, 3. Upper Paleolithic. Mesolithic period. Domestication of animals, particularly dogs, began and characteristic tools were used, called as microliths. Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh is known for ancient caves depicting pictures of birds, animals, and humans. Neolithic period. Neolithic people knew about fire and wheel. An important site of this age is Burzahum, which means the place of birch. Chalcolithic period. Use of copper and stone-made tools. They practiced agriculture, venerated Mother Goddess, and worshipped the bull. Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization is one of the four earliest civilizations of the world. According to radiocarbon dating, initiation of Indus Valley Civilization can be dated around 2500 to 1750 BC. Systematic town planning was based on grid system, burnt bricks were used to construct houses, well-managed drainage system, fortified citadel, highly urbanized, absence of iron implements. The Great Bath, Mohenjo-daro, was used for religious bathing. There were changing rooms alongside. 6 granaries in a row were found in the citadel at Harappa. The towns were divided into two parts, the upper part or citadel and the lower part. Harappans were ruled by a class of merchants, as no evidence of weapons are found there. Indus people sowed seeds in November and reaped their harvest in April, because of the danger of flood. Produced wheat, barley, rye, peas, sesame, rice, and mustard. Indus people were the first to produce cotton, which the Greeks termed as sindan, derived from Sind. Animals known were oxen, sheep, buffaloes, goats, pigs, elephants, dogs, cats, asses, and camels. Well-knit external and internal trade. Barter system was prevalent. A very interesting feature of this civilization was that iron was not known to the people. The Indus people used weights and measures in the multiples of 16. Harappans looked on earth as fertility goddess, and phallic, lingam, and yoni worship was prevalent. Unicorn was the most worshipped animal. Many trees, people, animals, bull, birds, dove, pigeon, and stones too were worshipped, though no evidence of temple has been found. Dead bodies were placed in north-south orientation. The seal of Pashupati depicts elephant, tiger, rhinoceros, and buffalo. 2 deers appear at the feet of Pashupati. The Indus people believed in ghosts and evil forces, evident by their use of amulets for protection against them. Fire altars are found at Lithal and Kalabangan. The greatest artistic creation of the Harappan culture were the seals, made of steatite. Harappan script is pictographic and hasn't been deciphered yet. The script was written from right to left in the first line and left to right in the second line. This style is called Bustraphidan. Occupations practiced were spinning, weaving, boat making, goldsmiths, making pottery, and seal making. The possible causes of the decline of the civilization may be invasion of the Aryans, recurrent floods, social breakup of Harappans and earthquakes, etc. Boundaries: North Mandu, J&K, South Damabad, Maharashtra, East Alamjurpur. West Sutka Jandar. Indus Valley Sites. Harappa. Situated on River Ravi in Montgomery district of Punjab, Pakistan. It was excavated by Dairam Sahni in 1921-23. The Indus civilization is named after it as the Harappan civilization. Stone dancing Nutraja and Cemetery 37 have been found here. Mohenjo-daro. Mound of Dead. Situated on River Indus in Larkana district of Sindh, Pak. It was excavated by R.D. Banerjee in 1922. The main building includes the Great Bath, the Great Granary, the Collegiate Building and the Assembly Hall. The Dancing Girl, made of bronze, has been found here. Pashupati Mahadeva / Proto-Shiva. Seal, fragment of woven cotton, etc. are other findings. Shanhudaro. Sindh, Pakistan. Discovery / finding, S. On River Indus, discovered by N.G. Majumdar, 1931, only Indus site without citadel, bronze figurines of bullock cart and ekhaz, a small pot suggesting an ink pot. Lethal, Gujarat. Discovered by S. R. Rao, 1954, situated on River Bhagava. A part of the town was divided into citadel and the lower town and dockyard. Evidence of rice has been found here. Kalabangan. Meaning, black. Bangals, Rajasthan. Discovered by B. B. Lal, 1961, situated on Gagar River, a plowed field, a wooden furrow, 7 fire altars, bones of camel, and evidence of 2 types of burials, namely circular grave and rectangular grave. Dholavara. It was found on River Luni of Kutch district in Gujarat, discovered by J. P. Joshi, 1967-68. It has a unique water management system, only site to be divided into 3 parts, largest Harappan inscription and a stadium. Surkatata, Gujarat. Discovered by J. P. Joshi in 1972, evidence of horse found, oval grave, pit burials and seemingly a port city. Rakagari, Haryana. Largest Indus Valley site. Banavali, Haryana. On River Sarasvati, discovered by Rs. Bisht, 1973, evidence of both pre-Harappan and Harappan culture, lacks systematic drainage system. Evidence of good quality barley. Vedic period, Rig Vedic period, 1500 to 1000 BC. Vedic civilization started with the migration of Aryan people in northwestern part of India. The Aryans were semi-nomadic pastoral people and originally believed to have lived somewhere in the steppes, stretching from southern Russia to Central Asia. The whole region in which the Aryans were first settled in India was called the Land of 7 Rivers or Sapta Sindhava. The Indus and its 5 tributaries and the Sarasvati. The Dasrajan War Battle of 10 Kings against Sudas, Bharata king of Tritsus, on the bank of river Parushni. Sudas emerged victorious. Political organization. It was mainly a tribal system of government in which the military element was strong. Tribe was known as Jana and its king as Rajan. Although king's post was hereditary, we have also some traces of election by the tribal assembly called Samitis. Other tribal assemblies that were mentioned in Rigveda were Sava, Vidatha, and Gana. Villages were headed by Gramani. In day-to-day administration, the king was assisted by the Purohita, most important, a Senani and Gramani. Society. People were loyal to the tribe, called Jana, mentioned 275 times in the Rigveda, as kingdom/territory was not yet established. Women enjoyed freedom and respect. Religion. Worshipped nature. Indra, also called Purandara, breaker of forts, was the most important divinity. Soma was considered to be the god of plants. People worshipped the divinities mainly for praja, children, pashu, cattle, food, health, and wealth. No temple or idol worship was noted. Economy. No regular revenue system, kingdom maintained by voluntary tribute called Bali and booty won in battles. Aryans' main occupation was mainly pastoral. Agriculture was a secondary occupation. Cow was a standard unit of exchange. Gold coins Nishka, Krishnal and Satmana. The staple crop was yava, barley. Rigvedic terms. Term meaning. Dasyus, original inhabitant of India. Ayas, copper/bronze. Vajrapati/Kalapas, officer enjoying authority over large tract of land. Gramini, head of the village. Gavastha, fighting hordes, search for cows/war for cows. Rigvedic rivers. River name in Rigveda. Indus, Sindhu. Kuram, Jalam Vidhasta. Chanabasikni. Ravi Parushanai. Bias Vipas. Sutlej Sutudrit. Gomathi Gomal. Sarasvati. Gagar Drishadavati. Later Vedic period, 1000 to 500 BC. In this period, Aryans expanded from Punjab over the whole of western Uttar Pradesh covered by the Ganga Yamuna tube. Political organization. King, Samrat, became more powerful and tribal authority tended to become territorial. King's position strengthened by rituals like Ashwamedha and Vahapayajanas. Society. Society was clearly divided into four varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Position of women deteriorated. The institution of Gotra, descent from common ancestors, appeared for the first time. Economy. Beginning of town and settled life. Agriculture was the main livelihood. Wheat and rice, called vrai in later Vedic texts, became the staple crop. New occupation like those of ironsmith, coppersmith, and jewel work emerged, and weaving were reserved for women. Religion. Prajapati became the supreme god, followed by Rudra, animal god, and Lord Vishnu, preserver and protector of people. Idolatry began in this period. Pushana, who looked after the cattle, was god of Shudras. Sacrifices, rather than prayers, became more important. Vedic literature. The Vedas. Rigveda, the oldest Indo-European language text, is a collection of hymns. Contains 1028 hymns divided into 10 mandalas. The 10th mandala contains Purusha Sukta hymn that explain about 4 varnas, whereas 3rd mandala contains Gayatri mantra, which was compiled in the praise of sun god. Samaveda, collection of melodies, contains Dhrupad raga. It is a book of chants. Yajurveda contains hymns and rituals/sacrifices. Atharvaveda, charms and spells to ward off evils and diseases. The Brahmanas. They explain the hymns of Vedas. Contains ritualistic formulae and explains the social and religious meaning of rituals. Each Veda has several Brahmanas attached to it. Rigveda, Kaushataki and Aitariya. Yajurveda, Taittiriya and Satapatha. Samaveda, Panchvish and Jaiminaya. Atharvaveda, Gopada. The Aranyakas. The word Aranya means the forest. These texts were called Aranyakas, because they were written mainly for the hermits and students living in the jungle. The Upanishads. Philosophical texts emphasizing value of right belief and knowledge, criticizing rituals/sacrifices, and 108 in number. Brihadaranyaka is the oldest Upanishad. Also known as Vedanta. Smritis. Explains rules and regulations in Vedic life. These are Manusmriti, the first law book. Naradasmriti, Yajanavakayasmriti, and Parasharasamriti. Vedanas. These are limbs of Vedas and are 6 in number. Shiksha, pronunciation. Kalpa, rituals. Vyakaran, grammar. Nikruta, etymology. Chanda, metrics. Jyotish, astrology. Puranas. Deals with world creation, the genealogies of gods and rishis and the royal dynasties. There are 18 famous Puranas. The Matsya Purana is the oldest Puranic text. Darshana. There are 6 schools of Indian philosophy, called Shatadarshana. These are Nyayadarshana Gautam, Vaisheshikadarshana Kanadarishi, Sankhyadarshana Kapila, Yogadarshana Patanjali, Uttaramimansa Bhadrayana or Vyasa, Purvamimansa Jaimini, Upavadas. There are 4 Upavadas. Dhanurveda art of warfare Yajurveda, Gandharvaveda art and music Samaveda, Shilpaveda architecture Atharvaveda, Ayurveda medicine Rigveda. Epics. Mahabharata by Vyasa, also called Jayasamhita and Satasahasri Samhita, has 100,000 verses and are older than Ramayana, written by Valmiki, and has 29,000 verses. The Mahajanapadas. Mahajanapada, locations, capital, S. Gandhara, between Kabul and Rawalpindi, Taxila, Anga, Bhagalpur and Munghur in Bihar, Kampa, Kashi, Varanasi district, up, Varanasi, Vaji, Vaishali district, up, Vaishali, Mala, south of Vaishali district, up, Kusinagara and Pava, Chedai, River Ken, Bundelkhand area, Sathavadinagar or Shuttamatai, Vuts, River Yamuna, Allahabad and Mirzapur district in up, Kaushambi, Magadha, Putna and Gaya district, Bihar, Girivraj, Rajagriha, Bimbisara, Patliputra, Udayan, Vaishali, Shishanaga, Patliputra, Ashoka, Kosala, Eastern up, Sravasti and Ayodhya, Saket, Kuru, Ganga Yamuna, Dub, Delhi Meerut region, Hastinapur and Indraprastha, Panchala, Ganga Yamuna, Dub, Rohilkund, Ahikhetra and Kampilya, Surasenas, Mathura region, Mathura, Matsya, Jaipur Bhardapural War district, Viratnagar/Barath, Asmaka, River Godavari, near Pathun in Maharashtra, Putna or Patala, Avanti, Malva, Ajay Jain, northern capital, Mahismati, southern capital, Kamboja, Hazara district of Pakistan, Rajapur or Hataka. Jainism and Buddhism came into existence around 600 BC. The main causes being the reaction against domination of Brahmanas and spread of agricultural economy in the northeast. Jainism, founded by Rishabhadeva, emblem, bull, born in Ayodhya. There were 24 Tirthankaras, great teachers, the 23rd being Parshvanatha and the 24th being the Vardhamana Mahavira. Mahavira was born in 540 BC in Kundagram near Vaishali. Father Siddhartha of Jainatrik Kshatriya clan. Mother Trishala, sister of Lichchavi chief Chitaka, married to Yashoda and had a daughter named Priyadarshini, whose husband Jamali became his first disciple. Mahavira became an ascetic at the age of 30, attained Kaivalya, Jina, outside the town of Jimhik Grama at the age of 42 and died at the age of 72 in 468 BC in Pavapuri. 5 Doctrines of Jainism. 1. Do not commit violence, ahimsa. 2. Do not steal, asteya. 3. Do not acquire property, aparigraha. 4. Do not speak lie, satya. 5. Observe continence, brahmacharya. Triratnas of Jainism are right knowledge, right faith, and right conduct. Jainism says salvation is possible only by abandoning all possessions, a long course of fasting, self-mortification, study and meditation. Jainism recognized existence of God, but lower than Jina. It didn't condemn Varna system unlike Buddhism. Jainism could not delink clearly from Brahmanical religion, hence failed to attract masses, admitted both men and women. Jain monastic establishments were called Basadis. Jainism was patronized by Karvela, the king of Kalinga. Chandragupta Maurya became the disciple of Bhadrabahu and spread Jainism in the south. Jainism was divided into two sects during the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, mainly due to famine in Magadha named Svetambaras, wearing white dresses, under Stulbhadra, and Digambaras, naked, under Bhadrabahu. Jaina texts were written in Prakrit language. Councils. First Council, 300 BC, at Pataliputra under Stulbhadra, Pataliputra, Jaina canons compiled. Second Council at Vallabhi, AD 5th century. Under Kshamas Ramana, Vallabhi, 12 Angas and 12 Upangas were compiled in Ard Magadhi language. Buddhism. Founded by Gautama Buddha, also known as Siddhartha or Sakyamuni or Tathagata. Born in 563 BC in Lumbini in Nepal in Shakya Kshatriya clan. His father Suddhodana was a Shakya ruler and his mother Mahamaya of Kosalan dynasty died early. Brought up by stepmother Gautami. Married to Yashodhara and had a son Rahul. Triratnas in Buddhism stand for three pillars. Buddha its founder. Dhamma his teachings. Sangha order of Buddhist monks and nuns. Buddhism was also divided in two main sects, namely Hinayana and Mahayana. Phases of Buddha's life symbols. Birth lotus and bull. Nirvana, enlightenment, horse. Nirvana, enlightenment, Bodhi tree. Dharmachakra pravartana. First sermon, wheel. Mahaparinirvana, death, stupa. The Dhamma. The four great truths. The world is full of sorrow and misery. The cause of all pain and misery is desire. Pain and misery can be ended by killing or controlling desire. Desire can be controlled by following the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path. 1. Right understanding. 2. Right thought. 3. Right action. 4. Right livelihood. 5. Right efforts. 6. Right speech. 7. Right mindfulness. 8. Right concentration. Madhyamarga, the middle path. Man should avoid both extremes, i.e. life of comforts and luxury and a life of severe asceticism. Buddhist literature. In Pali language commonly referred to as Tripitakas, i.e., threefold basket. Vinyapitaka. Rules of discipline in Buddhist monasteries. Sutta Pitaka. It contains collection of Buddha's sermons and teachings. It is largest among all three Pitakas. Abhidhamma Pitaka. Explanation of the philosophical principles of the Buddhist religion. Mahavamsa and Dipavamsa are the other Buddhist texts of Sri Lanka. Causes of decline of Buddhism. Use of Sanskrit, the language of intellectuals, in place of Pali, the language of the common people. Revival of Hinduism. Buddhist councils. Buddhist councils period place chairman patron. First 483 BC Rajagriha Mahakashyapa Ajatashatru. Second 383 BC Vaishali Sabakami Kulashoka. Third 250 BC Patlaputra Moggaliputta Tissa Ashoka. Fourth AD 72 Kundalvana Vasumitra, Ashwagosa Kanishka. Dynasties of ancient India. Haryanka dynasty. Bimbisara was the founder, who expanded the Magadha kingdom by annexing Anga and entering into matrimonial alliances with Kosala and Vaishali. He was contemporary of Buddha. Capital Rajgir, Jirav Raja. Ajatashatru came to power by killing his father. Annexed Vaishali, Kosala, and Lichchavi kingdom. Udayan founded the new capital, Pataliputra. Shishanaga dynasty. Founded by Shishanaga, Kulashoka or Kakavaran of this dynasty convened the Second Buddhist Council. Their greatest achievement was the destruction of Avanti. Nanda dynasty. Considered non-Kshatriyan dynasty, founded by Mahapadmananda. Alexander attacked during Dhanananda's reign. Cyrus was the first foreign invader of India. Alexander, the king of Macedonia, invaded India in 326 BC and fought the Battle of Hydaspes, Jhelum, with Porus, Purushottam, of Purava dynasty. Mauryan dynasty. Important rulers of Mauryan dynasty are Chandragupta Maurya, 321-298 BC. the first ruler who overthrew the Nanda dynasty with the help of Chanakya. He has been called Sandrakutus by Greek scholars. Chandragupta defeated Seleucus Nicator, the general of Alexander, 304 BC, who later sent Megasthenes the author of Indica to Chandragupta's court. His mother was Mura, a Shudra woman in Nanda's court. Madhurakshasa was written by Vishakadatta and describes about mechanization of Chanakya against Chandragupta's enemy. Chandragupta maintained 6 wings of armed forces. He adopted Jainism and went to Sravanabelgola with Bhadrabahu. Bindusara, 298 to 273 BC. He was called Amatragat, i.e., slayer of foes, by Greek writers, Greek ambassador. Diamakos visited his court, said to conquer the land between the 2 seas, the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Bindusara appointed his eldest son Sumna as his viceroy at Taxila and Ashoka at Ujjain. Ashoka, 293 to 273 BC. For the first 8 years Ashoka ruled like a cruel king and maintained discipline. He was called Devanamapriya, dear to gods in some of his inscriptions. The name Ashoka occurs only in copies of minor rock edict I. 3 languages were used for Ashokan inscription, that is Prakrit, Greek and Aramaic. Most of the Ashokan edicts were written in Brahmi script. It was James Princip who deciphered first the Brahmi script of Ashokan edicts in AD 1837. Ashoka was the first king to maintain direct contact with people through inscriptions. Kalinga War, 261 BC, mentioned in 13th major rock edict, converted Ashoka to Buddhism under Upagupta. Sanchi Stupa was built by Ashoka. The last Mauryan king Brihadratha was killed by Pushyamitra Sunga in 185 BC, who established the Sunga dynasty. The punch-marked coins carrying the symbol of the peacock and the hill and crescent, famed the imperial currency of Mauryas. The Mauryan artisans started the practice of carving caves of monks to live in. Barabar Caves near Gaya is earliest example of such cave. Ringwells for domestic use of water appeared first under the Mauryas. Sri Lanka is called Tamrapani in the Ashokan inscription. The Sunga dynasty, 185-73 BC. The Sunga dynasty was established by Pushyamitra Sunga, who killed last Mauryan king Brihadratha. They were basically Brahmins. This period saw the revival of Bhagavatism. Patanjali wrote Mahabhasya at this time. In arts, the Bharhut Stupa is the most famous monument of the Sunga period. The Kanva dynasty, 73 to 28 BC. In 73 BC, Devabhuti, the last ruler of the Sunga dynasty, was murdered by his minister Vasudev, who usurped the throne and founded the Kanva dynasty, which was later replaced by the Satavahanas. The Indo-Greeks. The most famous king among the Indo-Greeks was Menander, 165 to 145 BC, also called Milanda. His capital was Sakala, modern Sialkot, in Punjab. Converted to Buddhism by Nagasena as per the Milandopanhoa Pali text. The Greeks were the first to issue coins attributable to the king and also the first to issue gold coins in India, introduced Hellenistic art. The Shakas. The most famous ruler was Rudradmani, AD 130 to 150, who repaired Sudarshana Lake in Kathiawar region, issued first ever inscription in chaste Sanskrit, Junagadh inscription. He defeated the Satavahanas twice. Vikramaditya, the king of Ujjain, was the only one who defeated the Shakas. To commemorate the victory, he started the Vikram Samvat in 57 BC. The Parthians, the most famous king was Gondophares, AD 19 to 45, in whose reign Saint Thomas visited India to propagate Christianity. The Kushanas, also called Yuchi or Tocharians, were nomadic people from the steppes. Kanishka was the greatest of the Kushanas, who started the Saka era in AD 78. Kushanas were the first rulers to issue gold coins on a wide scale known for metallic purity. In the royal court of Kanishka, a host of scholars found patronage, like Parasva, Vasumitra, Asvaghosha, Nagarjuna, Charuk, physician, and Mathura. He also patronized the Greek engineer Agesilaus. The Satavahanas, or Anthras. Simyuka, 60–37 BC, was the founder of the Satavahana dynasty. Satavahanas were finally succeeded by the Ikshvakus in AD 3rd century. Under the Satavahanas, many chaityas, worship halls, and viharas, monasteries, were cut out from rocks mainly in northwest Deccan or Maharashtra. The famous examples were Nasik, Kanheri and Karl. The official language of the Satavahanas was Prakrit. The Satavahanas issued coins of lead, mainly, copper, bronze and potin. Gautamiputra Satakarni was a famous king. Sangam age. Sangam age corresponds to the post-Mauryan and pre-Gupta periods. South India, during the Sangam age, was ruled by three dynasties: the Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyas. The Pandyas. Their capital was Madurai, famous for pearls. The Pandyas were first mentioned by Megasthenes. Traded with Roman Empire, sent embassies to Emperor Augustus. The Cholas. The Chola kingdom, also called as Kolamandalam, was situated to the northeast of Pandya kingdom between Pennar and Vellore rivers. Their capital was Kavirapattanam/Puhar. The Cheras. Their capital was Vanji, also called Kerala country. It had important trade relations with the Romans. Sangam literature. Sangam was a college or an assembly of Tamil poets, held under royal patronage. 3 Sangams were held. I. At Madurai, chaired by Agastya. 2. At Kapatpuram, chaired by Tolkapiyar. 3. At Madurai, chaired by Nakarar. Kerala by Tiruvalluvar is called the 5th Veda or the Bible of Tamil land. Gupta period. The important rulers of Gupta period are Chandragupta I, AD 319–334, married a Lichchavi princess, who strengthened his position and enhanced the prestige of the Guptas. He was the first Gupta ruler to acquire the title of Maharaja. Chandragupta I was able to establish his authority over Magadha, Prayaga, and Sakata. Samudragupta, AD 335–380. He is called the Napoleon of India, by V.A. Smith, on account of his conquests. Meghavarman, the ruler of Sri Lanka, sent a missionary to his court for permission to build a Buddhist temple at Gaya. The Allahabad pillar inscription gives detailed information about Samudragupta. It was composed by his court poet Hari Sena. He assumed the titles of Kaviraj and Vikrama. Chandragupta II, AD 380–414. Murali inscription on iron pillar near Qutub Minar is related to him. His court was adorned by Navratnas, the chief being Kalidasa and Amarsingha. Fa-Hin, Chinese pilgrim, AD 399–414, visited during his reign. Defeated Saka Kshatrapa Singha III. Chandragupta II also succeeded in killing Ramagupta, and not only seized his kingdom, but also married his widow Dhruvadevi. He was the first Gupta ruler to issue the silver coins in the memory of victory over Sakas and to have adopted the titles Sakari and Vikramaditya. The Gupta age is called Golden Age of Indian history and saw the issuance of the largest number of gold coins. Kumaragupta I, AD 415–455. Chandragupta II was succeeded by his son Kumaragupta I. Kumaragupta was the worshipper of god Kartikeya. He founded the Nalanda Mahavihara, which developed into a great center of learning. Skandagupta, AD 455–467. Skandagupta was the last great ruler of the Gupta dynasty. During his reign the Gupta Empire was invaded by the Hunas. Success in repelling the Hunas seems to have been celebrated by the assumption of the title Vikramaditya, Bhidari pillar inscription. Pushyabhuti dynasty, AD 606–647. The greatest king was Harshavardhana, son of Prabhakar Vardhana of Veneshvar. He shifted the capital to Kannauj. Hyuntsung visited during his reign. He established a large monastery at Nalanda. Banabhata adorned his court, wrote Harshakarita and Kadumbari. Harsha himself wrote 3 plays Prayadarshika, Ratnavali, and Nagananda. Rashtrakutas. Founded by Dantaturg, Krishna I built the Kailasha temple at Ellora. Amogvarsha, who is compared to Vikramaditya, wrote the first Kannada poetry Kaviraj Marg. Rashtrakutas are credited for building cave shrine Elephanta, dedicated to Shiva. Gangas ruled Orissa. Narasimhadeva constructed the Sun Temple at Konark, Anantvarman built the Jagannath Temple at Puri, and Kesris, who used to rule before Gangas, built the Lingaraja Temple at Bhubaneswar. Pallavas. Founder, Singhavishnu, capital, Kangchi, greatest King Narasimhavarman, who founded the town of Mamallapuram, Mahabalipuram, and built rock-cut radhas and even pagodas. Pallas, with their capital at Mungir, is known for Dharmapala, their second king, who founded the Vikramashala University and revived the Nalanda University. The greatest ruler of Pratiharas was Bhoja, also known as Mihir, Adivraha. Khajuraho temples were built during the reign of Chandelas of Bundelkhand. Chalukyas of Vatapi founded by Jayasimha were contemporary to Harshavardhan. Rajputs divided into 4 clans, Pratiharas, S. Rajasthan, Chauhans, E. Rajasthan. Chalukyas/Solankis, Kathiawar, Parmaras, Malva. The Cholas. Founder Vijayalaya, capital Tanjore. Aditya I wiped out the Pallavas and weakened the Pandyas. Parantaka I captured Madurai, but was defeated by the Rashtrakuta ruler Krishna III at the Battle of Takolam. Rajaraja I, AD 985-1014, led a naval expedition against Chalandra Empire, Malaya Peninsula, and conquered northern Sri Lanka, constructed Rajarajeshvari, or Brihadeshvara, Shiva temple at Tanjore. Rajendra I, AD 1014-1044, annexed the whole of Sri Lanka, took the title of Gangakonda and founded Gangakonda Cholapuram. Dancing figure of Shiva, Natraja, belongs to the Chola period. Local self-government existed. This is end of the video. See you later.